Imagine someone appearing out of nowhere, claiming to be a time traveler, and bringing with them chilling predictions about the future. Most of these stories are dismissed as fiction, hoaxes, or the wild imagination of internet users. But every once in a while, one of these accounts stands out because the predictions it contains start to come true with terrifying accuracy. One particular case has resurfaced, involving a supposed time traveler who revealed shocking details about events leading up to and especially during the year 2025. And what makes this story even more unsettling is how closely his predictions seem to mirror the world we are living in right now, down to details that seemed impossible when he first shared them. But before we dive into his most chilling prophecies, let me ask you something that will haunt you by the end of this video. What if everything this mysterious figure predicted is already happening around us, and we're just too blind to see it? What if 2025 isn't just another year, but the year when humanity's entire understanding of reality collapses forever? This mysterious figure first appeared on obscure internet forums years ago, long before social media took over our lives and before algorithms decided what information we see. He claimed to be from the not-so-distant future. Specifically, he said he was from the year 2055, exactly 30 years ahead of our current timeline. His mission, according to his posts, was to warn humanity about key events that would shape civilization and determine whether our species would survive the coming decades or face extinction. At the time, many people laughed at his claims, dismissed him as just another internet troll, or completely ignored his cryptic warnings about what he called the Great Convergence of 2025. But here's where the story becomes genuinely terrifying. As the years passed, fragments of what he predicted began to align with real-world developments in ways that seemed impossible to fabricate. Political crises erupted exactly where he said they would. Technological revolutions unfolded along the precise timeline he described. Natural disasters struck with uncanny accuracy to his warnings. And perhaps most unsettling of all, strange signals from outer space began appearing in our telescopes, exhibiting the exact characteristics he had described years before they were detected. The anonymous time traveler, who went by the cryptic username Kronos Witness 2055, first posted his warnings in 2019 on a small conspiracy theory forum that has since been mysteriously taken offline. His initial posts were fragmented, as if he was struggling to remember details or perhaps intentionally obscuring information to avoid paradoxes. He claimed that his memories of our current timeline were fragmentary because time travel doesn't work the way Hollywood movies portray it. Instead of creating alternate timelines, he said changes ripple backward and forward through time, constantly altering both past and future in subtle ways. According to Kronos Witness 2055, 2025 would mark a turning point unlike anything in recorded human history. He described it as the year when humanity would finally confront truths that had been hidden for decades by governments, secret organizations, and shadowy entities operating beyond public scrutiny. But his predictions weren't just about political revelations or economic collapse. They were about something far more fundamental and terrifying: the complete transformation of human consciousness and our understanding of our place in the universe. Among his boldest claims was the revelation that governments would be forced to disclose what they know about extraterrestrial life, but not in the way most people expected. He said the confirmation wouldn't come in the form of Hollywood-style flying saucers landing on the White House lawn, but rather through a series of subtle admissions, leaked documents, and undeniable scientific discoveries that would gradually force officials to acknowledge what they've known all along. He predicted that by 2025, the evidence would become so overwhelming that even the most secretive government agencies would have no choice but to reveal their decades of hidden research into non-human intelligence. What makes his predictions particularly chilling is how specific he was about the timeline and mechanism of disclosure. Kronos Witness 2055 claimed that it would begin with anomalous signals detected by radio telescopes around the world, signals so complex and obviously artificial that they couldn't be explained away as natural cosmic phenomena. He said these signals would intensify throughout 2024 and reach a crescendo in early 2025. Forcing NASA and other space agencies to publicly acknowledge that they were receiving structured communications from sources beyond our solar system. But here's what should terrify you. In recent months, radio telescopes have indeed detected increasingly complex, fast radio bursts, FRBs, that exhibit patterns suggesting artificial origin. These signals are coming from regions of space that should be empty according to our current understanding of cosmic structure. They're repeating with mathematical precision that defies natural explanation. And NASA, despite having the most advanced detection equipment on Earth, has remained suspiciously silent about their true nature and origin. Kronos Witness 2055 also warned of massive technological breakthroughs that would blur the line between human and machine in ways that would fundamentally challenge our conception of consciousness itself. According to his story, artificial intelligence would evolve at such a speed that entire industries would be reshaped within months, not decades, creating what he called the intelligent singularity, a point beyond which human civilization would be unrecognizable to previous generations. The traveler claimed that 2025 would be remembered as the year when humanity either embraced this new hybrid existence or was consumed by fear and resistance to technological integration. Looking around today, with AI already changing the way we work, communicate, create, and even think, his words feel eerily prophetic. Large language models have advanced from simple text generation to complex reasoning, creative writing, and problem-solving capabilities that surpass human experts in many fields. AI systems are now creating art, composing music, writing code, and even conducting scientific research at levels that would have seemed impossible just a few years ago. The rate of advancement is exponential, exactly as Kronos Witness 2055 predicted, and we're approaching what many experts believe could be artificial general intelligence, AI that matches or exceeds human cognitive abilities across all domains. But perhaps the most mysterious and terrifying part of his prediction involved what he called the signal from the deep. A strange transmission from space that would fundamentally alter humanity's understanding of our cosmic significance. He described it as a repeating pattern detected by astronomers, one that couldn't be explained by natural cosmic phenomena like neutron stars, black holes, or gamma-ray bursts. This signal, according to his posts, would carry embedded information, not just random pulses, but actual data, mathematical concepts, and possibly even linguistic structures that would prove beyond any doubt that we are not alone in the universe. Kronos Witness 2055 claimed this signal would resurface in 2025 with greater intensity and complexity, transmitted from a source that appeared to be moving through our local cosmic neighborhood in a way that suggested intelligent control rather than natural orbital mechanics. He said the signal would arrive in multiple phases, first as seemingly random bursts that would puzzle scientists, then as clearly structured patterns that would force acknowledgement of artificial origin, and finally as comprehensible information that would reveal truths about the universe that would shake the foundations of every major religion, scientific theory, and philosophical framework humanity has ever developed. At the time he posted these predictions, his words seemed like pure science fiction, the imaginative ramblings of someone with too much time and too little grip on reality. But now, with more reports of mysterious radio bursts and unusual cosmic activity making headlines almost daily, with government officials finally admitting that UFOs are real and represent technology beyond our understanding. With AI advancing at unprecedented rates, many people are starting to wonder if Chronos Witness 2055 was telling the truth all along. The scientific details he provided were remarkably specific. For someone supposedly making it all up, he described the signal's frequency range, its power output measured in terawatts, its periodic variation every 16.7 days, and its apparent source moving through what he called the local bubble, a region of space surrounding our solar system that's unusually empty of interstellar matter. These weren't details a casual hoaxer would know or invent. They required deep knowledge of radio astronomy, cosmic topology, and the specific capabilities of Earth's radio telescope arrays. Even more unsettling, Chronos Witness 2055 predicted that when the signal's true nature was revealed, it would cause what he called the Great Fragmentation, a period when humanity would split into those who accepted the reality of non-human intelligence and those who rejected it despite overwhelming evidence. He claimed this psychological crisis would be more devastating than any war, economic collapse, or natural disaster in human history, because it would force us to confront the possibility that we are not the masters of our own destiny, that we may be subjects in someone else's experiment, or worse, that we may be approaching contact with entities so far beyond our understanding that the encounter could drive our species to madness or extinction. The time traveler's warnings didn't stop with extraterrestrial contact. He spoke of global political instability, describing 2025 as a year when old alliances would break apart like glass under pressure, and unexpected powers would rise from the chaos. He predicted the collapse of traditional nation-state systems, replaced by what he called consciousness-based communities, groups organized not by geography or ethnicity, but by their willingness to accept the new reality of humanity's place in a universe teeming with intelligence far superior to our own. He also warned of technological disruptions that would make the Industrial Revolution look like a minor adjustment. Chronos Witness 2055 claimed that contact with non-human intelligence would provide access to technologies that operate on principles we don't yet understand. Energy systems that could power entire civilizations without environmental impact. Transportation methods that could cross interstellar distances, and information processing capabilities that could simulate entire universes. But he emphasized that these gifts would come with a price. Humanity would have to abandon its illusions of cosmic importance and accept a subordinate role in a galactic community of intelligence. Yet he also emphasized that these political and technological struggles would pale in comparison to the deeper revelation that humanity would no longer see itself as the only intelligent life in the universe, or even as a naturally evolved species. Chronos Witness 55 hinted at something even more disturbing, that contact with these entities would reveal unsettling truths about human origins, suggesting that our development as a species was not entirely natural, that we may have been guided, modified, or even created by these same intelligences that are now making contact. For him, this was the real message that would define 2025. It wouldn't just change politics or technology, but our very identity as a species. He claimed that humans in 2055 live with the knowledge that they are part of a larger cosmic ecosystem, that Earth is essentially a preserve or laboratory, and that the entities responsible for our existence are finally ready to reveal themselves and integrate humanity into their galactic community, whether we're ready or not. Skeptics argue that predictions like these are deliberately vague enough to fit almost anything that happens, a classic technique used by fraudsters and attention seekers throughout history. They point out that countless so-called prophets, seers, and time travelers have claimed to know the future, only to be proven spectacularly wrong when their predicted dates arrived. The internet is littered with failed predictions about everything from alien invasions to economic collapses to technological singularities that never materialized. But what makes the Kronos Witness 2055 case genuinely intriguing and deeply unsettling is how specific some of his details were and how unsettlingly close they are to current events unfolding around us. He didn't just predict generic technological advancement or space discoveries. He provided specific details about AI development timelines, radio telescope detection capabilities, government disclosure procedures, and even the psychological reactions of different population groups to the revelation of non-human intelligence. Most disturbing of all, several of his more obscure predictions have already come true with uncanny accuracy. He predicted that government UAP disclosure would begin in 2019-2020 with military video releases, and it did. He said AI capabilities would reach human-level performance in creative tasks by 2024, and they have. He claimed that radio telescopes would detect increasingly complex signals from space starting in 2022, and they are. The pattern is too specific, too accurate, and too detailed to be mere coincidence or lucky guessing. Was it all an incredibly sophisticated fabrication created by someone with insider knowledge of classified research programs? Was it an elaborate, alternate reality game designed to build a following and then monetize the audience? Or could there really be more to this story than rational skepticism can explain? The possibility that someone truly did glimpse the timeline of our future raises questions that challenge everything we think we know about the nature of time, causality, and human destiny. As we move deeper into 2025, the internet is once again buzzing with debates about this mysterious traveler and his chilling forecasts. Some believe his predictions are unfolding exactly as he described, pointing to every new AI breakthrough, every mysterious signal from space, every government admission about UFO reality as confirmation of his prophetic accuracy. Others see them as nothing more than a clever fabrication that exploited people's existing anxieties about technology, space, and government secrecy. But the believers are asking increasingly urgent questions. If Kronos Witness 2055 was real, if he really did travel back from 2055 to warn us about 2025, then why hasn't he returned? Why did his posts suddenly stop in late 2021? Did something happen to prevent his continued communication? Did his warnings actually change the timeline he was trying to preserve? Or most terrifyingly, did the entities he warned us about discover his interference and put a stop to it? Some internet researchers claim they found fragments of his later posts on archive sites, posts that became increasingly desperate and fragmented, as if he was struggling against some kind of interference or suppression. In these alleged final messages, Kronos Witness 2055 seemed to be warning about something even worse than first contact. He hinted that the beings making contact were not benevolent explorers or wise teachers, but something far more predatory and dangerous. Yet, the fundamental questions remain. What if he was real? What if someone truly did glimpse the timeline of our future and risk everything to warn us? What if the strange signals, the AI acceleration, the government disclosures, and all the other pieces falling into place are exactly what he saw happening in his memories of our timeline? And most importantly, most terrifyingly, what else did he see that he never revealed? What was so horrible about humanity's future that he was willing to violate the laws of physics themselves to try to prevent it? Because if even part of his story is true, then 2025 may not just be another year in the calendar. It may be the beginning of the end of human civilization as we know it, or the beginning of a new chapter in the human story that could redefine everything we thought we knew about time, space, consciousness, and our ultimate destiny in a universe that may be far stranger and more dangerous than we ever imagined. The clock is ticking, the signals are intensifying, the AI systems are awakening, the governments are preparing for disclosure, And somewhere in a timeline 30 years ahead of ours, Kronos Witness 2055 might be watching to see if his warnings were enough to change the course of history, or if humanity is destined to face the terrifying truth he tried so desperately to help us avoid. As we stand on the brink of what may be the most significant year in human history, one question haunts every rational mind. Are we prepared for what's coming, or are we about to discover that some truths are too dangerous for any species to survive? If this video has opened your eyes to the terrifying possibilities that 2025 might bring, then you absolutely must subscribe to Mindsterious right now. We're the only channel brave enough to dive deep into the time travel mysteries, alien contact predictions, and cosmic revelations that mainstream media refuses to investigate. This is just the beginning of our exploration into Kronos Witness 2055's shocking prophecies. And trust me, what we've covered today is nothing compared to what's coming next. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because 2025 is going to be the year when everything changes, and you don't want to miss a single update as these incredible predictions continue to unfold before our eyes. Like this video if you believe Kronos Witness 2055 might have been telling the truth, and comment below with your own theories about what his warnings really mean and whether humanity is truly prepared for first contact. Are we about to witness the greatest moment in human history, or are we walking blindly into our own extinction? Share this video with everyone you know who needs to understand what's really happening in 2025, because if these predictions are accurate, then the next few months will determine the fate of our entire species. The truth about our future is unfolding right now, and together we're going to uncover every terrifying detail before it's too late.